So good.
In the 8 o'clock hour. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to eat my schmear.
Oh, these bagels are
ridiculous.
fresh.
Good.
Let us not interrupt your breakfast here.
I've never seen an everything bagel quite like this.
Let me tell you something. That is a ticking time bomb right there, because that's going to get all in the cracks of your teeth. I don't have floss to help you out.
Okay.
But you're going to need some.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Already scolding.
There's floss somewhere here in the building.
Good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA. It is 8 o'clock on this Thursday. I'm Jen Lammers.
Yeah, we're swinging into the holiday weekend here, just a week before Christmas. I'm Bob DeCastro. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be covering this morning. We begin with this developing news that we've been following all week. Nick Reiner making his first court appearance. That happened yesterday. He's now been charged with his parents' murder. His siblings are now sharing their grief for the first time.
And President Trump addresses the nation, how he's trying to ease concerns about affordability and the economy.
And high winds making a mess across Southern California. Maybe you felt them overnight. Maria's here with a look at that, and also a look at the rest of the week.
Yeah. Did you say you were swinging into the holiday season, Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we all swinging in the high?
Now, not all of us. Apparently, you are. The wind chimes were swaying.
Mind that.
Swaying last night for sure. You know, getting blown around by those winds that we've been talking about. The winds right now, not too bad. Thankfully, they did calm down overnight and this morning, and the wind advisory was allowed to expire a little bit earlier. It's still coming out of the north and northeast, so that will help to warm us up later today. You can see by the arrows which direction it's coming from here. More northeasterly in the Inland Empire, northerly near downtown LA, and temperatures right now a little bit cooler in some spots because of the weaker winds. 32 in Big Bear currently now, 56 in Pasadena, 54 in downtown LA, 56 in Palm Springs. Later this afternoon, a high near 83 in Palm Springs, about 72 in the high desert. The mountains, lots of sunshine up there. Big Bear, 68 degrees. Some breezes, as I mentioned, still there, especially through the canyons and passes, but it'll be below advisory criteria. 82 for downtown LA, upper 80s for the valleys and the Inland Empire. We are going to cool it down. We're going to change things significantly as we get to next week with that chance for rain. I'll go over the details when I come back. But first, a look at traffic. Let's go up to Stu in Sky Fox and see what's going on out there. Ooh, this freeway looks pretty good.
Doesn't it, Maria? It is really good. And I can tell you, Dylan, the pilot of Skyfox this morning, we found those winds. We found them. They are still on the north end of the valley for sure. We're heading our way to the 405, and we're going to be in the Mission Hills, Granada Hills, North Hills, all the hills. And take a look at that. It is kind of as expected. Coming away from the 118 southbound on that 405 drive, you got a little bit of slowing, then you got a little bit of going, but then you got a lot of slowing as you're making your way over that Sepulveda Pass this morning. Give yourself extra time. It's going to be a rough ride. Whatever it was yesterday, add a couple of minutes to it. No crashes, thank goodness for that, but just really high volume. It's Thursday. It's coming up on holiday time. Everybody's getting out, doing what they need to do. Northbound, wide open, moving well. Sending it back to you all in the studio, and good morning.
All right, Stu, thank you so much. Have a great morning. Now to the latest in the Reiner's investigation. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michele Reiner, waking up in jail this morning after making his first court appearance. He's charged in their murders, and after their bodies were found on Sunday in their Brentwood home.
Mario Ramirez is live in Brentwood now with new footage of his arrest. You can see cops really sweeping in on him. Mario.
Yeah, that's right, and we're just outside the home here on Chadbourne Avenue. Just days ago, this was the scene of the crime where the Reiners' bodies were found inside, and now their youngest son is facing murder charges. Let's go to these images, court sketches. These are the first that we're able to show you of 32-year-old Nick Reiner as he made his first appearance. He sat behind glass, handcuffed, and wearing a blue suicide prevention smock, and appeared calm, saying very little. Prosecutors on Tuesday officially charging Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder, including the special circumstance of multiple victims. The LA County Medical Examiner's Office, meanwhile, now confirming Rob and Michele Reiner died from multiple sharp force injuries consistent with stab or cut wounds. Authorities say the attacks happened early Sunday. If convicted, Reiner could face life in prison without parole or the possibility of the death penalty. Meanwhile, we know he didn't enter a plea when he appeared in court just 3 days after his parents' bodies were found. Instead, his defense attorney requested more time, saying they're still reviewing details in this complex case, as he called it.
This is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with.
And now to that video, dramatic moments. Nick was taken into custody Sunday night. This was around 9:15. It shows police, some in unmarked vehicles, move in near the Expo and Vermont Metro station by USC's campus. Reiner immediately raises his hands and surrenders at that location, which is about 15 miles from the Brentwood home, and roughly 6 hours after the bodies were discovered. Investigators back out here live, still piecing together the timeline of events. Nick Reiner, meanwhile, is due back in court January 7th, and that's where we expect him to officially be arraigned and possibly enter a plea on those murder charges. For now, that's the latest here in Brentwood. I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario. Thank you. Meantime, the Reiners' surviving children, Jake and Romy, issued this statement, reading in part, "Words cannot even begin to describe the unimaginable pain we're experiencing every moment of the day. The horrific and devastating loss of our parents, Rob and Michele Reiner, is something that no one should ever experience. They weren't just our parents, they were our best friends. You can read the whole statement on our website, foxla.com.
We're going to bring in Gigi Graciette. She's live here in the studio with more on what we're learning about Nick's movements before and after the killing of his parents. Mario, Gigi had been talking about that timeline, and we're slowly starting to fill things in there.
And Bob and Jen, obviously the timeline is extremely important in the preparation of the case and the charges that have been filed against Nick Reiner. Now, we do know that tensions between Reiner and his parents were running high as early as Saturday evening when the three attended Conan O'Brien's annual holiday party. But what happened after they left that party? That is what LAPD's homicide detectives and several of their bureaus, including a specialized task force, has spent the last 4 days doing, piecing together exactly what Nick Reiner did, every single move, following a paper trail and some other evidence. Now, here's what we know. Detectives were led to the Pierside Santa Monica Hotel where Nick Reiner did rent a room and where reportedly police found evidence that he was involved in the murder of his parents, with multiple sources reporting there was blood in the hotel room. There you see the door of that room, courtesy of TMZ. DNA analysis being done to determine exactly whose blood was found there. By the time police arrived there, though, Reiner was gone. Now, behind the scenes, an elite task force, which includes, of course, the LAPD, several of their bureaus, including gangs and narcotics, the FBI and U.S. Marshal, they specialize in the capture of suspects who are on the run. That was assembled, and all resources were used to track him. And in exclusive new information, we've now learned that police had been tracking Nick Reiner for hours before his arrest. And that happened Sunday evening. That's when the task force found Reiner standing on the corner of Exposition and Vermont near USC. They had probable cause to take him into custody by then, and that's exactly what they did. Now, in the moments before his arrest, we were able to confirm that he was at the Arco AM/PM across the street. Their cameras caught him going in and out, eventually buying a Gatorade, which he used a debit or credit card to pay for. He would then cross the street where cameras caught him pacing back and forth, that red backpack still over his shoulder, and that's where that specialized task force arrested him. It was, according to witnesses, almost as if he had been waiting for that moment. He immediately put his hands up, didn't resist arrest, and it clearly showed they knew he was in that exact spot because, again, in exclusive new information, we've been able to confirm police had actually been watching him for hours. Jen and Bob?
So as it stands right now, Gigi, there are still some really big gaps. A big gap of time from when the Reiners left the party and when Nick apparently had checked into the hotel room, and so we still don't know exactly when the Reiners may have been killed, the exact time.
Well, we reached out to the medical examiner. Ultimately, they determine officially how the Reiners died. We know that it was from multiple sharp object injuries, indicating, as has been reported, that a knife was used. We do know and have been able to confirm that police have what they believe is the weapon that was used. Now, you're looking at the public information that the medical examiner of LA County's office releases, and this is available online, and it clearly shows the date of death as Sunday. So they believe they were killed on Sunday. The time, they're not releasing that time. We do know their bodies were found after 3 p.m. and sources telling me it appeared they'd already been dead for at least 12 hours, if not longer. We reached out to the medical examiner again, and a lot of test results are still not back. Both autopsies have been completed, but those test results are still pending. Another important piece of the story is that the LAPD has publicly confirmed that both Rob and Michele Reiner were found in the master bedroom, but detectives aren't saying publicly if they believe the couple was actually asleep when they were both attacked. But all of this, they have that information. They're building their case. It's understandable they're not sharing this information. They're obviously presenting all that information to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office to build the case. And I can tell you that sources tell me they feel they have a very solid case against Nick Reiner.
Especially with the possible DNA evidence that was found in that hotel room. Gigi, thank you. Every detail that we learn about this case just becomes more and more horrifying. Really.
As the investigation continues, we'll find out more.
All right, still ahead, President Trump highlighting his accomplishments in a national address. We'll have more from Washington.
Also, look at this, a runaway reindeer rescued after getting loose on the 5 freeway. What was it doing there? And we'll have more after the break.
Our top stories this morning. Last night's winds likely caused this mess in Granada Hills. Look at this. A large tree came crashing down on top of a Mercedes. This all happened around 8 o'clock last night on Tribune Street near White Oak Avenue.
The manhunt continues in Rhode Island for the gunman who killed 2 Brown University students and injured 9 last week. Investigators now asking the public for more video of their person of interest and for the public's help in identifying a second person seen right there who crossed paths with him. The FBI is offering $50,000 for information leading to an arrest.
Spirit Airlines and Frontier are once again holding talks to merge. Bloomberg reports the deal might happen, in fact, by the end of the month. Both carriers have tried to strike a deal for the past 3 years, but were blocked by regulators.
President Trump had a primetime address last night.
Yes, that's right. Most of it was focused on the economy and affordability, which is already shaping up to be a key issue in next year's midterm elections. Doug Luzader has more from Washington.
President Trump making some big promises for 2026, addressing a big source of voter discontent at the moment, the economy.
Good evening, America.
Surrounded by Christmas trees, President Trump making his central case about his second term so far. High prices are not his fault.
Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more.
Using a number of charts, the president blamed his predecessor. And while it is true that the massive inflation spike during the Biden administration has faded, voter perception is clear. Our new Fox News poll shows just 28% of voters say the economy is excellent or good. And Democrats have been hitting that issue hard.
President Trump can say whatever he wants on camera. But the reality is for Americans across the country that costs are up, unemployment is rising.
The president's address came on the same day that he attended the dignified transfer of U.S. service members killed in Syria. And he announced what he called a warrior dividend, checks for $1,776 for all service members to commemorate U.S. independence.
Think of that. And the checks are already on the way.
It's still a work in progress, though, what to do about health care and rising Obamacare rates as COVID subsidies expire next year. But the president promising success.
We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen.
And that is going to be the administration's central message ahead of next year's midterm elections as Democrats hope to win control of Congress. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
All right, thank you, Doug. Take a look at this video. 2 reindeer that were seen running loose on the 5 freeway last weekend are back with their owner. Santa's got them back. Cookie and Noel escaped their transport trailer early Saturday, but they're now safe. California Highway Patrol and LA Animal Services worked together to corral the reindeer with help from Caltrans and a Good Samaritan. Back to the North Pole you go.
Yeah, where were they transported to and from? Like,
There's some that live here, though. There's some that live here. Yeah. For sure. Have you ever gone to some of those,
I mean, like
zoos, but there are...
In a zoo. They're not indigenous to Southern California.
No. There are parties where they have these reindeer come and they educate the kids on these types of animals. Haven't you gone to these kinds of things?
So I saw once, I was walking my dog, and there was a kids' party, and someone like literally rented a camel. And they were doing camel.
I always feel bad when that happens.
Camel rides. Yeah. The kids were sitting on top of a camel with the whole thing.
I've seen those little, petting zoos. They set up like the pop-up petting zoos. The chickens are like right there on the teetering on the fence.
What happened to just a simple party with a birthday cake?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
not here.
Daddy, I want a camel.
Not here. In Southern. Not in Los Angeles,
Sorry,
Bobby.
do you know where you are?
Or Beverly Hills. Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm running out of time. High pressure is going to weaken. I don't know if you saw it kind of whiz by, but the storm track has sagged south. It's going to impact northern central California this weekend. And as we get into next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it will sag farther south and it will impact Southern California. So the models are all pointing to a good chance for rain as early as Tuesday with some light showers. And then Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, we could be looking at some significant rainfall. As we look at the nation here, this is our other model, and you can see as we fast forward to the weekend, Sunday at the start of winter, it's not too bad across the nation. Just some showers across parts of the Gulf Coast. All the wet weather was primarily here in the West Coast with some snow in the upper Midwest. But as we fast forward to Christmas Eve, look at all of the rain here and the storm impacting Southern California and fairly quiet across most of the nation. Parts of the South will get some showers. Otherwise, some snow for Christmas Day in the upper Midwest once again. And for us, even some showers continuing into Christmas and the end of the month. Meantime, today is going to be dry. So run around today, tomorrow, this weekend. Get that last minute stuff done before the rain comes next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. But 82 should be the high or near that for downtown LA. All right, let's do the TV shout outs before you walk out the door. Because we do want to say a happy special birthday to LaTanya Bird. Happy 5-7. 5-7. Hey, LaTanya, thank you for waking up with us every morning. I know you are a longtime Good Day LA fan, so we appreciate you and we wish you a happy birthday. And a happy birthday to granddaughter June. June, you're a cutie pie. Your grandpa Kevin sent us this photo. Keep those pictures coming. All you have to do is attach the photo to the email, please. That's really important. TV shoutouts at Fox.com. TV shoutouts at Fox.com. And I'll add you to the list. Don't get mad at me if I don't post it right away. There is a long list, but send it anyway. TV shoutouts at Fox.com. I send it back to you. Actually, no, we'll be right back after this quick break.
Welcome back. Los Angeles leading the way in live music for 2025. A new report from Bandsintown shows LA is the top U.S. city for ticket demand, with venues like Crypto.com Arena ranking among the most sought after globally. Smaller spots like the Virgil are also thriving, highlighting the city's vibrant mix of big arenas and independent venues.
You only have just a little more time to get holiday gifts in the mail, with the deadline for USPS Priority Mail tonight. Some locations are open until 9 p.m. The Postal Service expects to process more than 188 billion pieces of mail and packages this holiday season. Express mail must go out by December the 23rd. The deadline for Ground Advantage and First Class has already passed. FedEx will start shipping by December the 23rd for delivery by Christmas Eve.
Hey, happy Grinchiversary, by the way.
What is that?
Okay, I'll tell you. 59 years ago, we all learned about a place called Whoville.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
I don't know the rest. Okay, on this day, in 1966, a favorite storybook character came to life and to TV, debuting on CBS. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is based on the Dr. Seuss book of the same name. You know the story. The Grinch creeps into Whoville and tries to steal the Who's Christmas. But then he realizes that, you know what? This season is about so much more than trees and presents, and his heart grows 3 sizes that day. I think my favorite Grinch of all time would have to be Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah.
Who
Second favorite Grinch of all time would be the Universal Studios.
Oh, that guy. But did anybody else play the Grinch? Or
I don't know if anybody else played like live action. I know there's been quite a few iterations. There's been animations, claymations.
I like that song that came out of the Grinch, although it's kind of sad.
But you're a mean one.
No. Where are you, Christmas?
Again, like another mournful Christmas song, right?
It's a little sad.
Na, 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 na.
It's a little melancholy.
Faith Hill. Is that Faith Hill? Yeah, that's right. Still got it. All right, still ahead. Christmas classics coming to life in Hollywood. And Coco is there this morning. Look at you.
Good morning. That's right. Disney Plus is celebrating 35 years of Home Alone with a special activation right here in Hollywood and a world record attempt. We'll tell you about it coming up.
Don't catch me. You're catching me with the bagels.
Look at that.
As we get ready to talk to a doctor about anti-inflammation foods. Right.
some garlic breath now. Sorry.
I have some
I
truffle
didn't want to
breath.
say anything.
The bagel. You know,
Sorry.
You got your pop-up bagels. They also left us this cool hat. Look what it says.
I love it.
Not famous, but known. I like that.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
I love a trucker.
Because you know
The
what?
issue
That can be
is-
said for everybody, right?
I mean, known for what? That's what I want to know.
You're just a known
What are you
person.
known
People
for?
know, people know you.
Just known, Bob. Just known.
Yeah.
People do that all the time. I think, well, I know you.
Yeah, right.
Where did I see you? At the bank?
You're like, didn't I watch you on KTLA? It's like,
Grocery
no, that's not me. That's the wrong station.
Yeah.
You get
I
that
like when they
twist all
hear
the
your
time.
voice and they turn around and they say,
That's when they get it.
I knew I knew that
Yeah.
voice.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
I
when
also love that, oh, you're much tinier in person.
Oh, you're much
Which is better.
prettier.
What does that mean?
Which is better than another way.
Yeah, that's
My
younger in
favorite one
person.
is like, I know you. I know you from Rob Fukuzaki. That's a good one.
My friend Rob.
Again, Bob, not famous.
Great guy.
But no.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a good person to be mistaken for.
Yeah, just sign his name on the check next
Right,
time, you know, like the bill. Okay, let's talk about the weather because we are anticipating some changes just in time for the holiday week next week. You guys, I mean, we have been on a roll. It's been so dry, it's been warm, but now it's looking like you're going to need your umbrellas for Christmas.
No.
Look at the, I know, you're like, no. 3 days left until we officially say goodbye to the fall season. Winter will arrive on Sunday. 7 days until Christmas Day, and it could be a wet one. 14 days until New Year's, which also might be wet, by the way, because we are anticipating unsettled weather to continue through the end of the month. Get ready for the rain, but not until next week. So get all the stuff done today, tomorrow. The weekend will still be dry and mild, although just a little bit cooler, and then rain likely starting Tuesday with some light sprinkles through Wednesday and Thursday, and then unsettled through the end of the month. Boy, this month has been warm and dry. No kidding, right? Every single day has been above average with the exception of the 3rd, but that also was quite warm, 69 degrees, which was average for the day. Today, we're expecting around 82. We'll wait and see if we actually get that warm, but the components are there with the offshore wind. Not so gusty, but it will help to warm up the atmosphere. Our sunset time coming up at 4:46. Here are the temperatures we're expecting today. 83 in Ontario, 82 in Burbank, 72 in Palmdale, 68 in Big Bear to that 83 in Palm Springs. Wind advisories were allowed to expire, so it'll be breezy, but below advisory criteria. All right, let's check in on the traffic conditions out there. We got you covered there as well. The fog is still an issue in some areas, but it is not as deep as yesterday, so that is the good news. But just be careful if you encounter that fog. Slow it down, please. As we take a look at one of our live traffic cameras, here is the West 91. What a clear camera this one is. This must be one of our new ones. This is at La Palma, out there towards Orange County, 91 La Palma, or rather inland. Both sides moving very nice. Coming out of downtown LA, it is slow on that 10. This is going towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405, about an hour there. Westbound 60 between the 57 to the 5, 42 minutes. All right, there's your weather and traffic. More in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Now to the latest in the Reiner's murder investigation. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michele, waking up in jail this morning after making his first court appearance.
Mario Ramirez is live outside the Reiner's home in Brentwood now with the latest. Good morning.
Yeah, Jen, Bob, good morning. The official cause of death now released as the Reiner's youngest son remains behind bars with no bail. He's officially been named a suspect and charged in the case, and we're just outside the home here along Chadbourne Avenue. You can see there's a growing memorial where neighbors and people who knew the Reiners have been leaving flowers and candles. This was the scene of the crime just days ago. Now, let's go to these first images that we can show you from inside the courtroom. Sketches here. Cameras weren't allowed to show the 32-year-old as he made a brief appearance. Reiner sat behind glass, handcuffed, wearing a blue suicide prevention smock. He appeared calm and said very little when addressed. Prosecutors have now officially charged Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder, including the special circumstance of multiple victims. Meanwhile, the LA County Medical Examiner now confirming Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner died from multiple sharp force injuries consistent with stab or cut wounds. If convicted, Nick Reiner could face life in prison without parole or possibly the death penalty. Reiner didn't enter a plea as he appeared before a judge, which is is what we were expecting. Instead, his attorney requested more time, saying they're still reviewing details in this extremely complex case. Now, we want to show you the latest surveillance video. It shows the dramatic moments Nick was taken into custody. This was around 9:15 Sunday night. Police move in near the Expo and Vermont Metro station by USC. Vehicles surround him. Reiner immediately raises his hands and surrenders, and prosecutors say they will pursue justice in what they call a devastating and tragic case, but the DA's office says a decision on pursuing the death penalty hasn't been made yet. Now, we are continuing to follow this, and if we come back out here to the property in this upscale neighborhood, Nick's arrest happening about 6 hours after the Reiner's daughter, Romy, discovered the bodies inside, and we learned Nick was living in a guest house on the property. Again, he remains behind bars with no bail, and he's now due in court for that official arraignment January 7th in about 3 weeks. For now, live in Brentwood, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. New this morning, an L.A. jury awards $40 million to 2 women who claim talcum powder made by Johnson & Johnson caused their ovarian cancer. The verdict is the latest development in a long-standing battle that claims that talc in Johnson's baby powder and shower-to-shower body powder was connected to ovarian cancer and mesothelioma, which is a cancer impacting the lungs and other organs. Johnson & Johnson stopped selling powder made with talc worldwide in 2023. The company says it would appeal the jury's liability verdict and damages.
A new report by the CDC reveals that kids who were vaccinated against COVID last season had a substantially lower risk of ER and urgent care visits. Researchers found vaccines to be about 76% effective in preventing those outcomes among healthy kids ages 9 months to 4 years, and about a 56% effective rate among kids ages 5 to 17, compared with other kids their age who did not get vaccinated. COVID hospitalization rates have decreased over time, but the CDC also found infants had a higher hospitalization rate than other age groups aside from seniors. In a break with the CDC, the American Academy of Pediatrics continues to explicitly recommend COVID shots for younger kids.
Well, it looks like LAX travelers will have to wait a little bit longer to ride the airport's $3 billion people mover. The Los Angeles Business Journal reporting that the automated electric train system won't be ready until the second half of 2026. Contracts for the project were first signed in 2018, and it was supposed to be operational by 2023. But the people mover has hit several roadblocks, including a reported disagreement over maintenance between Los Angeles and the project's contractor. Once completed, the elevated train will span more than 2 miles and will link the LAX Metro Transit Center to airport terminals with stops at parking and rental car areas.
Eventually, you're not going to have to go do the loop. It eliminates some of the traffic around that loop.
That's great.
And apparently, when it works, the people mover will come every 2 minutes.
Whoa.
So you go to the transit center, you wait there, and then it'll take you all around the terminals.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Hopefully it works.
Hopefully.
Let's get it going.
You know?
Literally. All right, let's move on to entertainment, sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Something on so many SoCal residents' holiday wish list is prosperity for the year ahead when it comes to more production. So many people work within the industry, and they are just hoping there are more production jobs in store for the future. But we now have some updates on which projects will be awarded the much-anticipated California tax credits, and one proves that Hollywood is dog eats D-O-double-G world. The Snoop Dogg biopic, Ang Lee's Gold Mountain, plus Gina Rodriguez and Glenn Powell projects are among the 28 films that were awarded California tax credits. In total, $116.2 million was awarded in this big screen round, estimating the investment in the home of Hollywood that will create $500 million, $562 million to be exact, in what is termed economic activity across our state. Earlier this year, Governor Newsom made the official announcement that the film and TV program's mega expansion will increase from $330 million to $750 million in tax credits. What does this mean for jobs? Well, it will also employ 4,837 cast and crew jobs, along with, now get this number, 22,614 background performers. So if you want to make some extra cash, being what we call them extra, you know, background actors, now is the time. 2026 is the year for that.
My friend does that.
I'm surprised they're not just more and more AI generated. You know what I mean? The background
I feel like you can still tell when they're AI generated.
Yeah.
Nothing beats the real thing.
That's right.
I'm glad those Snoop Dogg's biopic done here. I mean, if you had it done like Canada, I mean,
that would really be.
Come on.
Everybody's going like,
one of California's finest. Yeah,
It's like, doesn't feel like LBC.
Yeah, it's not the same. Not the same. Okay, so after decades of airing on ABC, Hollywood's biggest night, you know they say that, a.k.a. the Oscars, a.k.a. the Academy Awards, is moving to YouTube in 2029. This is such a big move. This is going to put the Oscars on a global platform, even more so. I mean, 2 billion people will have access to not only the award show, but also behind-the-scenes moments and the pre-show. I mean, considering the Oscars only streamed online for the first time this year, with Disney putting the show on Hulu, this is really big. The Oscars first aired on ABC for a 10-year run, starting back in 1961. But then NBC swooped in, and they got the rights from 71 to 75. ABC then said, hey, we want takesy-backsies, and they got it back in 76, and it's been on ABC ever since.
Isn't YouTube the biggest streamer of all of them?
It's the biggest streamer. It's the juggernaut of all streaming, and they're promising pre-show. They're promising behind-the-scenes moments. Imagine after someone wins their award, you get to see them in the wings and how they react.
I wonder now if it's going to open up the carpet even more to influencers.
Ooh, definitely.
Right?
100%. But don't forget about us.
Please don't.
Yeah. Putting in my credential verbally to cover the 2029 Oscars. You know, social media, they have reacted to the news about the Oscars moving to YouTube in every way. Straight news delivery. But of course, social media loves to use humor.
And the Oscar goes to...
That's no...
Just giving you a little sneak peek of what 2029...
And then like ad pop-ups of all the different actors and actresses, previews of trailers pop up. Like, what's... But...
Maybe with declining viewership, they're going to have to change the model, right?
I know, but you know what's funny? What makes it funny is that you could almost see that happening because you're going to want to see who the Oscar goes to, and then that's the pop-up with the ad. It makes me want to pay for the premium subscription of YouTube where it's ad-free.
Smart.
Yeah. Okay, well, last hour we asked you, how's your holiday checklist coming along? What in the overachieving is going on this year?
Come on.
Are you guys all done, or did you just say, you know what, this year? I'm not going.
Maybe we're just all done with gift giving.
Yeah, exactly. Go to foxla.com/vote, because in second place, we got still lots to do here.
That's right. Yeah. It's all or nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. So 35 years ago, a little movie made a huge splash, something called Home Alone.
Disney is celebrating the release of this Christmas classic with a number of events, including one for the record books. Coco is live in Hollywood to explain. Hey there.
Good morning. Yes, we are in the heart of Hollywood. We are celebrating 35 years of Home Alone here with Disney Plus, this amazing activation. Okay, you recognize the McAllister home, of course, but this is made entirely of gingerbread. And the really cool thing that Disney Plus and Hulu are trying to do is break a Guinness World Record. And you can see the judge here now, Brittany. She's soaking it all in, taking in all the smells of the great gingerbread house. Brittany, talk about the process of how you judge this.
Hi, thank you. You just caught me smelling the gingerbread.
Yes.
It's making me really hungry. I don't know about you.
Oh, me too, because it smells so good.
Yes, hi. I am Brittany from Guinness World Records, the global authority on record breaking. So today I'm here to witness the Guinness World Records attempt for the largest gingerbread house. So with all of our records, each one has pages and pages of guidelines. And so this team has been working on this record with me back and forth for the past few months. So they had to submit their ingredient lists. They had to tell me how they made the gingerbread. All of the house has to be made from edible ingredients. So I'm just checking the different elements. And as you can see, there are some bees that are really interested in it. So it is pretty fragrant, and it is really interesting how they made the different tiles and the long duration they spent baking. And everything had to be pre-approved in terms of like the design and the structure. It actually had to resemble a house. I love that they chose the McAllister house to represent here. And so right now I'm just verifying that it is in alignment with their plan. And then I'm just waiting for the final measurement report from the surveyor that measured it.
I love that. And Brittany, you have the coolest job. I've been talking to you about it. So this is a pretty cool assignment. What's the most unique one you've done?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've been working for Guinness World Records for 10 years, and I've been really fortunate to be able to adjudicate all over the world. And so one of the most special records for me is that I've gotten to do one of the same records in 2 different countries. So one of the first records I ever got to witness was the most people scooping ice cream simultaneously in Shanghai, China. And then years later, I got to adjudicate the same record, a different attempt of people in Florida.
Wow.
And both records were successful, but I have to say it sticks out of my mind because one of the values with Guinness World Records is to make the world a more fun and positive place. And with those record attempts, every single person from grandma to 2-year-old that was there was smiling from ear to ear. Because just like this, it was a food record, so people got a chance to eat the ice cream after the attempt. They had to scoop it during the attempt. They got disqualified if they were eating the ice cream during the attempt, which I did unfortunately have to disqualify some people for.
Oh no!
But they did have enough in both attempts to break the record, and everyone went home with extra ice cream. So I have to say, it definitely embodied the spirit of what we do. And just from like the young and the older, or the young at heart, I have to say everybody was really feeling like the spirit that day of like what we love to do.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for talking to us. What a cool attempt here. So we'll see if they win. I'll send it back to you.
All right. Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck. Thanks, Coco. It's the holiday season, and the Rams want to spread more joy with underserved families.
That's why they're hosting a holiday food distribution event. As you look live there, starting in just 20 minutes, you see all the boxes are out there outside SoFi Stadium, where cars will be lining up in a drive-through to pick up essential groceries like fresh produce and a frozen chicken. This is the 6th year the Rams and volunteers with the LA Regional Food Bank have worked together to bring the event to families in need. So they're expected to distribute more than 20,000 meals. The event starts at 9 o'clock, so just under 15 minutes from now, and runs until noon. All right, coming up, if you want to feel happier and healthier in the new year, you might want to put down the gym weights and pick up this new book.
And this is my New Year's resolution every single year.
Every year.
Every year. Our next guest is about to publish the 30-Day Inflammatory Reset. We'll discuss how his book can provide you tools and lower inflammation and help prevent life-altering health issues. First, let's get a check of traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is sponsored by the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie and calljacob.com. We have a little bit of fog still out there in some areas, mostly near the coast, so just take it easy. No dense fog advisories in effect, but just be careful if you encounter some of that on the road. Do want to give you a heads up on this accident on the 110 southbound. This is at Florence Avenue, so it's causing a little bit of a backup here to the 10. Out towards Mount Washington, we have an accident on the 110 northbound. This is at Avenue 43, the number 4 lane, and the right-hand shoulder is blocked due to this crash. They're clearing it out, though. I see a lot of green now on the map, so that's the good news. I think they have kind of cleared that off the shoulder. Here is one of our live traffic cameras. This is in Riverside. This is the 215, and it looks pretty good here at Los Alamos Road. So, yeah, drive carefully. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran. Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
you're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
Call Jacob.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. This weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. We have a little bit of that marine layer and some fog outside, not quite as dense as yesterday, but you just want to be extra careful if you encounter some of that this morning. We still have a slight offshore flow. The winds are breezy, but not as gusty as yesterday or even last night, so those wind advisories were allowed to expire. In fact, we don't have any weather alerts in place. That ridge of high pressure is going to continue to weaken as we get into the weekend and next week as we watch these storms, which have primarily been aimed at the Pacific Northwest. It's going to start sagging south further and impact our weather here for next week, just in time for Christmas week, beginning as early as Tuesday with some light showers, and then Wednesday, Christmas Eve, some rain, along with Christmas Day lingering into the end of the year. Ventura County, LA beaches, if you're headed to the coast, 3 to 5 feet. Surf height wise, 1 to 3 feet, Orange County and San Diego. Here's our 7-day forecast along the coast. 72 today, increasing chances for rain, as you can see with downtown LA as we get to Tuesday, Wednesday. 82 though today, but then cooling as we get to this weekend. We will welcome winter officially on Sunday here in the northern hemisphere. Still pretty warm in the valleys today in those upper 80s, but down to just the 60s as we get to next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. The mountains beautiful, 68 in Big Bear with that chance, 30% for some rain on Tuesday as well as Wednesday. I think we're going to tap into a warmer, milder component with that system that we're expecting rain from, so snow levels are going to stay pretty high, above 8,000 feet. 83 in the low desert in Palm Springs today with that chance increasing for rain by next week, Wednesday, Christmas Eve. I'll send it back to you.
All right, so Maria, so diabetes, autoimmune diseases, cardiovascular issues, Alzheimer's, chronic inflammation is something that tends to go undiagnosed and leads to other serious health conditions.
It's something many people aren't aware of, only learn about it after it is too late. In his new book, The 30-Day Inflammatory Reset, Dr. Josh Redd breaks down everything you need to know about chronic inflammation, and the title states it can help you take control of your health instead of falling victim to it.
So just, you know, a couple of minutes ago, Bob and I were chowing down, as you might have seen, on salty bagels.
That's right.
I'm guessing that is not in this book?
Gluten is definitely one of the most inflammatory foods we see for our patient population, for sure.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So you talk about inflammation, and people at home might not even know what you're talking about when you're saying chronic inflammation, and in the book you also talk about hidden inflammation. What is it?
Yeah, so our bodies can produce inflammation for, short acute issues like a sprained ankle or a bacterial infection or virus. That's really good, but when it becomes chronic or long-term, that can wreak havoc on our overall health and overall physiology. We have an inflammation crisis in this country, and almost all disease stems from inflammation. So when we have a lot of our autoimmune patients or patients suffering with inflammation that come in with a ton of different symptoms, simply all we do is test for inflammation, look to correct it and improve it, and their overall quality of life improves quite substantially.
What's the biggest devil? Who's the biggest culprit?
One of the most common things that we see with our patient population is gluten and dairy. Those typically are really inflammatory for a lot of our patients, for sure. But it's different from each patient to the next. And so we see over 350 patients a day over the 10 clinics that I own. And so we kind of get to see what foods trigger inflammation more than others. And so we kind of have our own research, research in-house, essentially, right?
How do you test for inflammation? Like, what do you do?
Super easy. One of the most common tests is like C-erythropoietin, homocysteine, LDH, uric acid. Simple, easy tests, and you'd be shocked at how many patients we see that have high inflammation. Even kids now. That's the most scary thing is we have these kids that are eating these really poor diets. They're not even eating real food. Their brain's inflamed. They have neurobehavioral problems, neurodevelopment delay issues, and really the stem of it is they're highly inflamed. And we look at these kids, and it's so scary.
So how do you see the world sort of in America today? Because we live in this GLP-1 culture now. So, like, I want to say, I read last time, like 12 or 13% of Americans are on some sort of a GLP-1. We have all kinds of diets out there, from the keto diet and all these other things. But here, you even have recipes and things like that.
For sure.
Can people just do something like this and not even have to get to a GLP-1 type of a situation?
This is huge. Like, we see lots of patients where they might have like 5 good days a month. And they can go through this and look at what causes inflammation, how to decrease inflammation, how to test for it. And then we have kind of a plan where they can, we hold their hand throughout the process. But a lot of individuals that will do this will go from 5 good days a month to like 25 good days a month, and their quality of life is a lot better. A lot of patients that we see, they've been to multiple doctors over and over and over the last 20 years, and nobody knows what in the heck to do for them. And in reality, the food that they're eating is the biggest modifier for their physiology. It impacts their gut, their blood sugar levels, their brain, their immune system, so many different things. And yet it's a lot simpler than most people think.
Yeah, instead of throwing medication at it, do something like this.
We're
Just
getting to
make
the
changes to your diet.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, that was a quick one, but I feel like we got a lot done.
That's right.
The 30-day inflammatory reset comes out on January 6th. Thank you, doctor. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Be right back.
Thanks, Red. Yeah, I feel like even when you get to that point where you feel like you're in a healthy spot, if you don't change
All right, welcome to Good Day LA. It is 9 o'clock on this Thursday. I'm Jen Lommers in this morning for Roxia.
And I'm Sandra Enda. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Days after the murders of Rob and Michele Reiner, their youngest son, Nick, makes a first court appearance. What we're learning about the night police confronted him.
Plus, President Donald Trump delivers a primetime address from the Oval Office, what he discussed in his next steps for the United States.
And let's talk movies this weekend. There's a big one that's about to make some big waves. You know, if you're not into blue, a.k.a. Avatar, consider yellow, a.k.a. SpongeBob, at the box office. My interview with the voices of SpongeBob and Patrick in just a few minutes. But first, Maria, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants. Gosh, that's in my head.
Yep.
Good morning to you. We've got a lot of options for the weekend. It's going to stay dry, but things will change as we get into next week, that's for sure. Right now, we're looking at some clouds. Visibility showing you much bit of improved visibility from yesterday, but we're still looking at reduced visibility through parts of the South Bay, Los Alamitos, Santa Ana, and Santa Monica. Just be careful of Fullerton as well if you encounter that fog. Dense fog advisories are not in play today, but there is still some of that patchy dense fog this morning. The wind also has weakened, so that is good news. Still, that offshore flow will help to warm us up a little later this afternoon. 62 currently in Burbank, 60 in Ontario, 61 in San Bernardino. It's 43 in Big Bear. Later this afternoon, Big Bear should see a high of about 68 degrees, 72 in the high desert to that 83 in Palm Springs. Downtown LA in the near 80 range, 87 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, around 72 near the coast. Yep, it's going to warm up today, but then it'll cool down. We're going to get some rain back in the forecast. I'll go over all those details in a few moments. Back to you.
All right, we continue following the Reiner's murders investigation. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michele Reiner, is waking up in jail this morning after making his first court appearance. He's charged in their murders after their bodies were found Sunday in their Brentwood home.
Mario Ramirez is live in Brentwood now with new video of his arrest. They really zeroed in on him. Mario.
Yeah, Sunday night, and this morning we're live just outside the front of the property here on Chadbourne Avenue. You can see behind me they've got private security, flowers and candles also lining the front gate here. We can tell you that this was the scene of the crime just days ago where the Reiners' bodies were found inside, and now their son is facing murder charges. Take a look. 32-year-old Nick Reiner appeared in court. Cameras weren't allowed to show Nick, but you can see him here in these sketches as he made his first appearance. He sat behind glass, handcuffed, and wearing a blue suicide prevention smock. Appeared calm, saying very little. Prosecutors on Tuesday officially charging Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder, including the special circumstance of multiple victims. Meanwhile, the LA County Medical Examiner's Office now confirms Rob and Michele Reiner died from multiple sharp force injuries consistent with stab or cut wounds. Authorities say the attack happened sometime early Sunday. If convicted, Reiner could face life in prison without parole or the possibility of the death penalty. We know he didn't enter a plea when he appeared in court just 3 days after his parents' bodies were found. Instead, his defense attorney requested more time, saying they're still reviewing details in this complex case.
We ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
And now to those dramatic moments. Nick was taken into custody Sunday night. This was around 9:15. You can see police vehicles moving in near the Expo and Vermont Metro Station by USC's campus. Reiner immediately raises his hands and surrenders at that location, which is about 15 miles from the Brentwood home and roughly 6 hours after the bodies were discovered inside. Now, investigators are still piecing together the timeline of events and continuing to investigate. January 7th, that is when the official arraignment has been rescheduled, and that's when Nick could enter a plea on these murder charges. For now, that's the latest. I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. And with more on the murder investigation, Gigi Graciette is here in studio with what we're learning about Nick's movements before and after the killing of his parents.
That's right. We have exclusive new information this morning. Good Day LA has been able to confirm that police actually had Nick Reiner under surveillance for hours before his arrest on Sunday evening. You saw some of that video there in Mario Ramirez's story. We also know, and it's been made public, that tensions were running high with the family after the 3 of them attended Conan O'Brien's annual holiday party. But what happened after they left? That is what LAPD's homicide detectives have been spending the last days doing, with entire teams working to piece together every single move that Nick Reiner made. Now, we know the detectives ended up at the Pierside Santa Monica Hotel because they confirmed that Nick Reiner had rented a room there. And reportedly, detectives found evidence that led them to believe he was involved in the murder of his parents, with multiple sources reporting there was blood inside the hotel room, both on the bed and in the shower. You see there the room's exterior door in this video, courtesy of TMZ. DNA analysis has been ordered to determine exactly whose blood it was that was found in the room. Now, Reiner was gone. But behind the scenes, we've learned, an elite task force. Now, this task force, it's the Fugitive Apprehension Task Force. It includes the LAPD, the FBI, U.S. Marshal, and sometimes other agencies. Again, they specialize in finding suspects who are on the run, was assembled, and all resources that were available were used to start tracking Nick Reiner down. And again, police had him under surveillance on that Sunday evening when that task force found Reiner standing on the corner of Exposition and Vermont near USC. Now, they didn't actually find him. They knew he was there because they were watching him. Now, there you see him with that red backpack. He's at the AM/PM Mini Mart right across the street at the gas station there. He goes in, he walks out, he goes back in. He appears a little sort of fidgety. He eventually pays for a Gatorade and walks off and goes across the street. And that's where for about an hour he paced back and forth. Now, what he probably didn't know is that officers and federal agents were keeping a very close eye on him, watching him pace back and forth. And when they got the green light, they moved in, surrounded him, and took him into custody.
That's really fascinating, all the work that's done, obviously, behind the scenes to track him. What do we know, Gigi, so far in terms of the medical examiner and what they determined about Rob and Michele?
Well, we spoke to the medical examiner's office yesterday. The autopsies on both Rob Reiner and his wife Michele have now been completed. And the medical examiner confirmed to us and also publicly that their bodies were found the date of their death was determined to be sometime on Sunday. They are not releasing that information, the exact time they believe it. It is, of course, a science, and medical examiners are able to really narrow down the time when someone died. Now, the bodies we know were found at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but sources telling us it appeared they had been dead for at least 12 hours. And another disturbing fact of this case, and the LAPD has made this public, that both Rob and Michele Reiner were found in their master bedroom. Now, detectives have not publicly said if they believe the couple was asleep when they were attacked. They are keeping that as part of the case they are building, but sources telling me they have a very strong case against Nick Reiner.
All right, more to come there. Thank you, Gigi. Meantime, we have some breaking news out of North Carolina. So a plane, we're learning, has crashed while landing at a small airport. This is about 40 miles north of Charlotte. The Fox affiliate in Charlotte reports there are multiple deaths. The crash happened around 7:15 our time, while the Cessna C-550 was landing at Statesville Regional Airport. The business jet that crashed is a twin engine that can carry up to 10 people, including crew and passengers. Statesville Regional Airport, as you're looking live right there, provides aviation facilities for Fortune 500 companies and several NASCAR teams. We're told that there was a tremendous amount of fire when the plane crashed. We're going to have more information as it becomes available.
All right, new this morning, a judge says he'll rule in May 2026 on what evidence prosecutors can use in Luigi Mangione's murder trial. Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City last year. Prosecutors rested their case today after calling nearly 20 witnesses over 3 weeks of his pretrial hearing. Mangione's defense team did not call any witnesses. They want to exclude a gun and notebook seized during his arrest in Pennsylvania and claim investigators didn't follow proper protocols. Prosecutors say the search was legal.
Back here locally, Los Angeles County is getting a big boost to fight against homelessness. The county's Affordable Housing Solutions Agency just approved $11.5 million to help at-risk renters stay housed. This is the largest funding allocation since voters passed a Measure A, a sales tax to address homelessness. The money will go to nonprofits and public agencies, helping about 700 households in the next 18 months. Officials say this funding is critical as state and federal cuts threaten housing programs.
Last night, President Trump addressed the nation in a primetime speech from the White House. He spoke directly to voters, laying out his political agenda for 2026. The address comes as many Americans are concerned about the economy following a year of policy moves, including cuts to the federal government and sweeping immigration crackdowns. The president touting his accomplishments, hoping to flip the script on affordability for Americans who are still anxious about the economy and inflation, saying Americans will feel the benefits of his economic policies much more next year. As things stand now, Trump blamed current high costs on the Biden administration.
In the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed.
President Trump also announced what he called a warrior dividend, checks for $1,776 for all service members to mark the nation's founding. The president's speech comes as a new Fox News poll says 72% of Americans view the economy negatively.
All right, 9:12 on this Thursday, and coming up, Amanda has your entertainment headlines after the break, including a movie that's making a big splash in theaters today.
But first, a check of traffic.
And we do have some traffic to talk about. Good Day LA traffic brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. Still got the fog out there in some spots, so please be extra careful. Here's one of our live traffic cameras. It looks pretty good, actually. This is our 91 freeway, the westbound 91 at Magnolia. As you can see, both sides of the 91 look pretty good. As we take a look at our real-time drive times in and out of downtown LA, it's improved a little bit on that westbound 10 freeway this hour, between the 5 to the 405. Now heading towards Santa Monica, it's 43 minutes. So that's better than over an hour, just about a half an hour ago. Northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, 25 minutes. That's good. Westbound 60 between the 57 to the 5, just 28 minutes. Here's some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DT LA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good Day Late Weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casinos. High pressure, which has been really good at keeping us blocked from these storms, is it's weakening and it's moving to the south and southeast. So that's going to allow the storm track to sag south. That atmospheric river is going to move over northern California, central California this weekend. That means rain and snow for the Sierra Nevada. As we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to sag farther south, impacting Southern California, and that means there are some good chances that we could be seeing some rain here by Christmas Eve, even as early as Tuesday with some sprinkles, but Wednesday into Thursday, widespread rain, and we could be talking about some significant amounts through the end of the week next week. So get ready for kind of a wet commute for Santa on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. There is one weather alert in place, air quality alert. That means there is a no-burn rule right now. Again, that ban on burning wood, pellets, any firewood, or even the manufactured fake fire logs. Please don't do that. It will add more particulate matter in the atmosphere, which is very harmful for our lungs. 82 in downtown LA today, 83 in Indio, 70 in San Diego. Here's your day planner for Laguna Beach. We've got some clouds, as I mentioned, some fog still, especially near the coast. We'll get to those mid-60s later this afternoon there. Riverside around 61 now, getting up to the low 80s near 4 p.m. this afternoon. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Maria. All right. This is a movie we can all get behind.
That's right.
I think it's multi-generational, and we all know the answer to it. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort Casino. Jen, you played last round. You got next, Sandra.
What?
Who lives in a... Oh.
Let's go.
All right, fine.
SpongeBob.
Big guy. Big guy. Big guy. Big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Oh!
Yeah. Okay.
Hey. Well, he may live in a pineapple under the sea, but SpongeBob SquarePants is the man to be at the box office, starting today with his new film in a whole new way.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Hey, how you doing?
Big guy, big guy, big guy.
SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
You are an inspiration. See the outfit.
Fashion icon.
Thank you, SpongeBob
fashion
babes.
icon.
It's a lot of thought went into that.
Well, thank you. We come to impress. I also had to bring my blinged out pineapple.
Love it.
I love it.
We are putting the C in season's greetings.
I love it. Well, I've got this.
Cheers.
But, you know, yeah. It's impossible to look cool while you're drinking out of this.
Listen,
Like,
you're just, you
hey,
guys
baby,
are
let me
both.
buy you a drink.
The hero's journey starts with one squish. What?
The show, the film, everything about it, the voices. This is the gift that keeps on giving. So it's appropriate to come out right around Christmas.
Yeah, it definitely keeps on giving to us, and it's really nice to hear that it keeps on giving to the people that like it, particularly people who grew up on it, who came into SpongeBob came into their lives when they were young, and now they're in their 20s and 30s and having kids of their own.
The Flying Dutchman? The most pants-wettingly scariest ghost to ever roam the high seas? Oh, my lucky brick.
There's, you know, young kids that are just merging onto the SpongeBob freeway to put it. I know we're in LA. I can say freeway.
Merge with caution.
SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
SpongeBob,
pants okay. I'm like closing my eyes and listening to that voice. It's wild. Yeah, right.
It's in theaters today, and Sandra, we don't just talk about it.
We be about
it. So let's go. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Big guy. Big guy. Big guy. Big guy. SpongeBob square. Big guy. Pants okay. SpongeBob. Big guy. Pants okay. Oh!
We got it. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Freestyle.
Wow.
What's the Avatar dance?
I don't know.
Is there an Avatar dance?
I don't know.
We're going to take a break.
Well, let's dance it out.
Big guy. Big guy. SpongeBob. Big guy.
Okay,
pants okay.
And welcome back to you. We've got a look at Ontario International Airport here. A bit of a haze, but it does look good, shaping up to be a sunny day later this afternoon. If you are traveling out of Ontario International Airport, maybe getting to Denver, a high of 48 degrees there with some partly sunny skies. Houston, lots of sunshine, 77. Atlanta, clouds, 59. Chicago, Midway, 51, not too bad. New York, JFK, 50 degrees today with sunshine. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. You know the saying, right? You are what you eat. Well, Denny's has taken that to a whole new level with their sticky kicks. That's right. That's the name being given to these shoes that you're looking at on your screen. So Denny's launched the product yesterday for National Syrup Day. We missed that? We missed National Syrup Day?
Oh, no.
Get out of Dodge. The yellow and brown high tops contain real syrup on the sides for, quote, real drip fans. Denny's,
and what if they leak?
Well, it's a good question.
Real sticky.
Then the sticky kicks. See?
Sticky
Denny's
situation.
chief brand officer admits they are impractical, unnecessary, and completely over the top, which is exactly why they love them. Now, the shoes sold out, as you might imagine, right away. And you guessed it, resellers are going wild online. So the adult men's shoes were seen on eBay for as much as $900.
Whoa.
All right now. Originally, the high tops were just shy of $200. Wow. No word on if there will be a restock from Denny's.
My dog would so chew these shoes.
I know.
My dog would chew these shoes and smell the sweetness.
And slurp it up.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
Slurp up
Don't
the
walk in the
syrup.
woods with those. You might attract some bears.
Some bears.
Do you know that?
And
do you remember the
honeybees.
Sandlot movie, The Sandlot?
Oh, yeah.
So there was that pair of sneakers, and my dad said these were the pair of sneakers he wanted as a kid. PF Flyers. Those, remember that? They were like the coolest kicks back in the day, PF Flyers.
Yep.
Imagine if we went back in time in the 50s and 60s, right? And said, one day, people will resell sneakers online for $900 with syrup on the side.
Yeah.
They would think the world has just ended.
Yes, they would. All right, coming up, get excited, you filthy animals, because Home Alone is turning 35.
Love it. And there's a celebration happening in Hollywood.
Good morning. That's right. A huge celebration from Disney Plus trying to break a Guinness World Record. We'll tell you if they break it coming up. But you remember this car from the iconic pizza scene in Home Alone as well. Huge activation here. We'll tell you how you can be part of it as well.
to Good Day LA. It's 9:30. I'm Jen Lammers in for Araxia.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The 32-year-old son of Rob and Michele Reiner appeared in court for the first time, and new information on his parents' official cause of death.
And the reservoir at the center of the Pacific Palisades wildfire investigation may temporarily be taken out of service again. We'll explain why. But first, check on weather.
And we do have a little bit of fog still that's left over this morning, so be extra careful, please, as you head out the door. And not to stress you out even more, want to let you know there's 7 days left until Christmas, 3 days until we say goodbye to the fall season officially. We will welcome winter in the Northern Hemisphere on Sunday, and 14 days left of 2025. We do have some changes in our weather, big changes as we get into next week, so get ready for rain again. We've been kind of spoiled this month of December thus far. We haven't had any rain. In fact, it's been really warm, actually. It's still going to be pretty warm today with the offshore flow still with us, but the winds are not as strong, so no wind advisories in effect. This weekend, we will start to cool things down. It will stay dry and mild, though, but by next week, Tuesday, chances for rain will increase, especially as we get into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. In fact, models are pointing to the rain kind of lingering through the end of the week next week, and in fact, the end of the month, so possibly impacting New Year's celebrations. 68 currently for downtown LA. It should get up to around 82. We'll wait and see if we actually reach that high temperature. But bottom line, it is going to be above the average of 67. Our sun will set at 446. And other highs we're expecting today around 84 in San Bernardino, 87 in Woodland Hills, 82 in Burbank, to that 68 in Big Bear, and 83 in Palm Springs. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a few moments. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Now to the latest in the Reiner's murder investigation. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michele Reiner, is waking up in jail this morning after making his first court appearance.
Mario Ramirez is live outside the Reiner's home in Brentwood with the very latest. Mario.
That's right. The family continues to mourn the loss of the Reiners as their youngest son is now behind bars, being held without bail. He's officially been named a suspect and charged in the case. And here outside the property along Chadbourne Avenue, you can see a growing memorial. This is where neighbors and people who knew the Reiners have been leaving flowers and candles. Now let's go to the first images we can show you. Courtroom sketches. Cameras were not allowed to show the 32-year-old son as he made a brief appearance. Reiner sat behind glass, handcuffed, wearing a blue suicide prevention smock. He appeared calm and said very little. Prosecutors have officially charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder, including the special circumstance of multiple victims. Meanwhile, the LA County Medical Examiner now confirms Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner died from multiple sharp force injuries consistent with stab or cut wounds. Now, if convicted, Reiner could face life in prison without parole or possibly the death penalty. He didn't enter a plea as he appeared before a judge, which is what we were initially expecting. Instead, his attorney requested more time, saying they're still reviewing details in this complex case, as he called it. Let's go to the latest surveillance video. It shows the dramatic moments Nick was taken into custody around 9:15 Sunday night. Police moving in near the Expo and Vermont Metro Station by USC's campus. Vehicles surround him, and Reiner immediately raises his hands and surrenders. Prosecutors say they'll be pursuing justice in what they call a devastating and tragic case, but the DA's office says a decision on pursuing the death penalty hasn't been made. Now, back out here at the property in this upscale neighborhood, Nick's arrest happening about 6 hours after the Reiner's daughter, Romy, discovered the bodies inside. And we did learn Nick was living in a guest house on the property. He remains in custody without bail this morning, and he is expected to appear for that official arraignment on January 7th. For now, that's the latest here in Brentwood. I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Mario, thank you. You know, it really has been a heavy week for Hollywood. The Reiners murdered allegedly at the hands of their own son, who reportedly has been suffering from addiction and mental health struggles. Also last week, we reported this. Renowned opera singer Jubilant Sykes was killed in his Santa Monica home. Authorities say his 31-year-old son Micah has been charged in his murder. In both cases, the sons have been denied bail. Those cases, though, are now raising a lot of questions and concerns about the nature of family violence. Earlier on Good Day LA, we talked to a mental health expert and family therapist who offered advice for people who are struggling with a violent family member.
And you just want to make sure that when someone is acting a little off or a little bit different, that not only are you protecting yourself if you're a family member or loved one, but you're putting in some safety boundaries, some guidelines, trying to put some space between you, trying to ask for help, seek some help or guidance from maybe a therapist or even someone you might know that has a therapist, just asking questions to get some more feedback and some more information.
Has a long history of mental health or drug addiction disorders. Things like relapses and drug psychosis can escalate the severity of their struggles out of the blue. As far as Nick Reiner goes, she says there's many things we are not seeing as the public. And to know why he did what he's accused of doing, we're going to have to wait and see.
Turning to breaking news now, in North Carolina, a plane has crashed while landing at a small airport about 40 miles north of Charlotte. The local sheriff's office there is now confirming multiple deaths in this. The crash happened around 7:15 our time while the Cessna C-550 was landing at Statesville Regional Airport. The business jet that crashed is a twin engine that can carry up to 10 people, including crew and passengers. Statesville Regional Airport provides aviation facilities for Fortune 500 companies and several NASCAR teams. We'll have more information, of course, as it becomes available.
Developing now out of Australia, authorities releasing photos today of several victims from the mass shooting at Bondi Beach. New South Wales police releasing images of 7 out of the 15 victims who were killed at a beach outing to celebrate the beginning of Hanukkah over the weekend. The victims were ages 10 to 87 years old. The photos were accompanied by statements from the victims' families saying they are, quote, devastated and heartbroken. One of the alleged gunmen was pronounced dead at the scene, while the other has been charged with 59 offenses. Meantime, the manhunt continues in Providence, Rhode Island for the person who killed 2 Brown University students on Saturday.
Investigators are asking the public for more video of the person of interest and for help identifying a second person. Police say this person was seen on surveillance passing near the suspected shooter, and they believe they could help in the investigation. Investigators also released a new map, hoping people in the area can help fill in the blanks with security footage of their own to know where the gunman went after the shooting. Authorities say they now have physical and DNA evidence that will hopefully bring them closer to the person of interest. The FBI is offering $50,000 for information leading to the arrest.
Some Republicans breaking ranks to support extending Affordable Care Act subsidies. Democrats convinced 4 moderate Republicans to join that effort that forces the House to vote on extending the affordable health care subsidies before they expire at the end of the month. The tax breaks help over 22 million Americans. Without those subsidies, those health care costs could jump over $1,000 a month for some people. But most Republicans want it to run out, saying the Affordable Care Act is the reason for high health care premiums in the first place. This might be just a minor victory for Democrats, though, because even if the House approves it, it is not expected to pass the Senate.
Congress also approved a controversial defense spending bill on Wednesday. It raises troop pay by nearly 4% and is in line with many of the Trump administration's national security policies. But it also contains a provision forcing War Secretary Pete Hegseth to release unedited video of the recent strikes against alleged drug boats near Venezuela. The bill cuts Hegseth's travel budget by 1/3 until that video is released. President Trump is still expected to sign the bill.
Meantime, Trump says the price tag for the new White House ballroom could double to $400 million. Back in July, Trump estimated it would cost $200 million, all covered by private donations. Construction is moving forward after a judge ruled against the National Trust for Historic Preservation in a lawsuit. Another hearing is set for next month.
Just as Pacific Palisades is preparing to mark 1 year since the devastating fire, we're learning a critical water source could be shut down again. LADWP is expected to take the Santa Ynez Reservoir offline as soon as next month. The same reservoir that was empty when fire hydrants ran dry. The reservoir was recently fixed, but now needs to be fixed again. It was taken offline in June to replace the damaged floating cover. Now that cover is damaged again. This latest repair could keep the reservoir offline for 9 months.
I think this reservoir is really critical. It was built for fire protection. Psychologically, it's one of the main things that the people in the Palisades want. They don't want a cap. They don't want a hose. They want a reservoir that can be used to fight fires.
To reduce fire risks, LADWP has plans for a 6-mile, 10-inch high pressure hose line from Topanga tanks. It's designed to pump water in if there is a fire.
Well, help is finally on the way for Eaton fire survivors in Altadena. State Senator Sasha Renee Perez announced $4 million in state funds to repair the fire-damaged Altadena Vistas apartments, a senior housing complex. The 21-unit complex for low-income seniors has remained empty since January 7th. The funds are part of an $8 million package supporting affordable housing and recovery efforts. Officials say repairs will take about a year, but this marks a major step toward rebuilding the community.
Free Rose Parade tickets are being offered to fire-impacted residents. The Tournament of Roses announcing over 1,000 grandstand tickets and 10,000 Float Fest tickets will go to those impacted by the Eaton and Palisades fires. Local organizations will distribute parade tickets, while Float Fest tickets can be claimed online. A few free tickets for other Rose Bowl events are also available. Officials say it's a way to bring joy and support to the community during New Year's celebrations.
It is the holiday season, and the LA Rams want to spread more joy with underserved families.
That's why they're hosting a holiday food distribution event happening right now.
You're taking a live look right now outside SoFi Stadium, where cars are lining up at a drive-thru to pick up those essential groceries like fresh produce and a frozen chicken. Look at the mascot out there.
Rampage is all dressed up for the holidays.
That's right. This is the 6th year the Rams and volunteers with the LA Regional Food Bank have worked together to bring the event to families in need. They are expected to distribute more than 20,000 meals, and the event runs until noon.
That is so great. All right, it's official. Universal is going across the pond. Universal is building its first ever theme park and resort in Europe, specifically Bedford, England. Universal releasing this image of what the park and resort could look like. It will feature several themed lands, dining, entertainment, and so much more. Construction is set to start next year and be completed by 2031. The Bedford theme park, which is about 60 miles north of London, is expected to welcome upwards of 55,000 people on peak days.
Well, speaking of big projects, it looks like LAX travelers will have to wait a little bit longer to ride the airport's $3 billion people mover. The Los Angeles Business Journal is reporting that the automated electric train system won't be ready until the second half of 2026. Contracts for the project were first signed in 2018, and it was supposed to be operational by 2023. But the people mover has hit a lot of roadblocks along the way, including a reported disagreement over maintenance between Los Angeles and the project's contractor. Once finished, the elevated train will span more than 2 miles and will link the LAX Metro Transit Center to airport terminals, with stops at parking and rental car areas.
All right, we've got a great deal for you and a lighthearted warning for parents out there. Don't let your kids hear this story, or there might be some screaming. Southwest announcing a new ticket deal this week, and prices start at just $67. That's right, 67, everyone. The airline calling it the trendiest sale ever. The deal applies to select flights between January 6th and March 4th. And the tickets must be purchased by today. Also, keep in mind you'll still have to pay for those checked bags. Southwest will also start its assigned seating policy on January 27th.
You know, it goes hand in hand with flights, sickness. That's right. So before you board your next holiday flight, health officials are advising you to consider paying a little extra effort to select your seat.
That's right. That's because they've determined the best seat on the plane to avoid getting sick. Any guesses? The chief physician editor at WebMD says you need 2 things. First, the seat must be as far away from the bathroom as possible. As we know, the bathroom is a breeding ground for germs, and those door handles and flush buttons are the biggest problems. Yeah, wipe it all down.
That's right. As for the second suggestion, the seat should be located by the window. There's less people brushing past you, less exposure right to aisle traffic, and less chance to spread those airborne illnesses. Another note, you got to sanitize everything, right?
That's right.
Some of the germiest spots, I think, are the seat back pockets.
The tray tables, too.
Yes, the tray tables, the armrests, those are also bad areas. AAA estimates more than 8 million people will fly domestically this holiday season.
Ooh, good luck to you.
Every single time I'm on a plane, I always come back sick.
You're heading out, too.
Yeah, I am. That's right.
I'm going to give you wipies for Christmas.
Ooh, please. I'll need all of them that I can get. Yeah.
All right. Well, 35 years ago, a little movie made a huge splash, something called Home Alone.
Oh, yeah. So now Disney is celebrating the release of this Christmas classic with a number of events, including one possibly for the record books. Coco McAvoy is live in Hollywood to explain. Good morning.
Hey there, 35 years for the holiday classic movie Home Alone. Disney Plus is celebrating in a huge way here in Hollywood, trying to break the Guinness World Record for the world's largest gingerbread house. And look at this. Of course, it's inspired by the McAllister house. Here's the moment we've been waiting for. I am here with Brittany now from Guinness World Records. So what's the verdict?
Hi, thank you so much. I am super happy to be here on behalf of Guinness World Records. I am here to witness the attempt that you talked about for the largest gingerbread house. I can confirm that all the evidence is in, and I'm in a position to make a decision.
Okay, let us know what's going to happen.
So I can confirm that this is indeed a brand new Guinness World Records title. Congratulations, and I have something to present to you, Scott.
Oh, what a great moment.
Here's Scott on behalf of Guinness World Records. You guys are officially amazing.
Officially amazing. Scott, your thoughts on this?
It feels amazing. It is so awesome. What a way to celebrate 35 years of Home Alone, Disney Plus, the home for all of these incredible classics, and the team that built this incredible experience here in Hollywood.
Yes, speaking of that, the team, talk about all the work and effort that went into this project.
Gosh, we partnered with Experiential Supply Company. It's been 8 days of construction here, Hollywood and Vine, and the public can come out and see this. It's an incredible experience. Thousands of pounds of flour, edible materials, everything to build this experience.
Yes, that's incredible. Okay, Brittany, I have to ask you, who were the previous record holders?
Yes, so the previous record holder was the Traditions Club, and it was broken in Texas in 2013. So now we have a new record holder, and we will see if this causes a little debate or a little battle to go back and forth. But congratulations now, Disney Plus and Hulu, you are the new record holders for this.
Yes, huge congratulations. So much effort went into this. And if you can talk about the other ways that you're celebrating here at this activation.
Of course, so we're open to the public tonight, so come out 6 p.m., Hollywood and Vine. You can bring a toy to donate to our Toys for Tots Drive, Disney Ultimate Toy Drive, and then tomorrow from 4:30 to 9 p.m. We just really want to bring some holiday cheer to the city of Los Angeles.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much, Brittany, as well. What an amazing moment right here in Hollywood. Come and experience this for yourself and get some nostalgia from Home Alone.
That's
I'll
right.
send it
In
back
your
to you.
face, Texas. You think everything's bigger in Texas?
That's
no, it's
right.
not.
That's
It's right here in Southern California.
We got
well
bragging
done.
rights now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Incredible.
Very cool.
Wow. All right,
And very
congratulations. Yeah. All right, coming up, it's Tailgate Thursday, and Miguel's Jr. is here.
Yeah, speaking of tasty, they're bringing a beloved holiday tradition into the studio, tamales. And Amanda's rolling up her sleeves and making some herself. Happy Tamale Days, everybody.
All right, let's talk about our weather because it's going to be changing as we get to next week. Finally, right? High pressure's been in control, keeping that storm track and that atmospheric river aimed away from us over the Pacific Northwest. Well, that high will sag south, move east, and that atmospheric river will start to sag farther south, farther south. It'll impact northern central California and the Sierra Nevada with snow this weekend, and then it will continue its trek southward and it will impact our weather here in SoCal beginning as early as Tuesday. Watch this one model here as we get maybe some sprinkles on Tuesday. Wednesday, Christmas Eve, look at the widespread light showers at this point. But as we get to Christmas Day, look at all this rain. There's a possibility, depending on the exact path of this system, we could get anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain for the coast and valleys, upwards of 2 to 4 inches possible for the mountains and foothills. I do think there's a warmer component to this, so snow levels will stay higher. I don't think we'll get much snow from this system, but maybe on Friday, as we continue unsettled weather through the end of next week, we might get a little bit of snow, but most of the snow will fall to our north and into the Sierra Nevada. Surf height-wise, it'll be 3 to 5 feet today, 1 to 3 feet for Orange County, San Diego. Here's our 7-day forecast. Notice next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Downtown LA, 82 today. Look at Tuesday, Wednesday in the 60s with that 60 to 80% chance for rain. So those chances are increasing as we get into midweek next week. We do have winter officially arriving on Sunday, just in time for some cooling and some clouds. But today, sunny, 87 in the valleys and the Inland Empire. 68 in the mountains today with mostly sunny skies, and that rain expected for Big Bear Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe some light snow as we get into next week, Thursday, Friday. But otherwise, beautiful. 72 in the high desert today with lots of sunshine, and then the low desert lastly here, 83 in Palm Springs. Amanda, I'll send it back to you.
Well,
Tailgate Thursday is sponsored by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy.
oh, muchas gracias, Maria. Today, we welcome one of our favorite holiday traditions. We are making homemade tamales with the co-founder and chief recipe officer of Miguel's Jr., Mary Vasquez. Welcome back, Mary, my friend. Oh, my gosh. Last year, you put me to work, girl. You made me roll up my sleeves and get in the cocina. Now we're going to do it again, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so this is perfect for any get-together. Everyone loves tamales, right?
Yes, especially on this season.
Especially around this season. That's right. They go hand in hand. So what kind are we making today? Last year, I think we made chicken, right?
Yes.
And now this year?
This year, we're going to make chile rojo.
Oh, spicy. You're
Very
spicy.
good. Spicy and hot.
Okay. That's right. That's how we like to keep it around here. Oh, okay. We're back to me doing it. All right. Okay. I know you like to put me to work. All right. Show me the ropes.
Okay.
I'm married now, so I want to cook more for
very
my
nice, very
my
nice.
husband. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
First step.
Yep.
You make your masa. You put your masa in.
Yep. The masa is very important.
It's very important. It's the key. It's a key, and also it's very important for you to do this.
Okay.
Part, because if you don't do it, where are you going to put your meat?
I love it. You're doing it like my grandma and mom, where I stand in the kitchen, but really they do all the work, okay? But I'm here for support and entertainment, and I can pour you a glass of wine or something. I love it.
Very good, very good.
You spoil me.
After you have your meat and your masa.
Okay, yeah.
You roll it over.
You roll it over, and now I'm getting my hands into it. Yep, okay. Uh-huh.
You flip it.
Flip it, fold it.
And your tamal is ready.
Did I do it right?
To cook. Perfect. You pass the test.
Can you dust my shoulder off? Go ahead. Just dust it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and then we cook it.
Yes.
And how long do they cook for?
Depends. If it's a little bit, an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
But it's safe, 2 hours.
How many tamales do you make every holiday season?
50,000.
Stop it. 50,000?
No, 50,000.
Oh, 50 dozen. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And
yes.
do you like to do it? Set me the scene. I want to know how you do it. You're in your home. You got music playing?
Yes.
Are you drinking a little tequila?
No, I don't drink.
No,
my kids do.
Your kids do, not you.
No.
Okay, I love it. Now, we have the tamales, but what else do we have for everyone to eat?
We have Mexican rice.
I love it.
Champurrado.
Okay.
And ponche.
And to wash it all down?
Tequila.
Tequila. Horchata?
Horchata.
Okay.
Maybe. Yes.
Oh, I love all this. Why is your food always so fresh at Miguel's Jr.?
Because we cook every day. Everything is fresh. It comes from the central kitchen.
I love it.
Nothing is frozen.
And then this is what the final product will look like, right?
Yes.
Can you guys smell that? Oh, it smells so good. Now, don't forget last year, my girl. Look at this right here. Don't forget last year. You danced with me. If I cook with you, you dance with me, remember?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so can I get the music, please? Come on. Come on, happy tamale days. Yes, tamales are available in stores through December 30th and with 22 locations throughout Orange County and the Inland Empire. You can bring Mary's tamales home, so head to Miguel'sJr.com to place your order. Go, Mary. Woo!
See you soon.
See you soon.
Welcome. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 10 o'clock. Here's some of the stories we're following for you right now. As murder suspect Nick Reiner makes his first court appearance, we are learning more about the night police confronted him. We'll have a live report just ahead.
Also, a judge in the murder case against Luigi Mangione makes an announcement. We will share what happened today in New York City. Maria.
And we do have some clouds outside, a little bit of that fog, but I want you to pay attention to this. The storm track, which has primarily stayed up into the Pacific Northwest, this is going to sag a little bit farther south. Our weather pattern is going to change big time. I'll have all the details coming up in my complete forecast.
Now to the latest in the Reiner's murder investigation. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob and Michele Reiner, is waking up in jail this morning after making his first court appearance.
He's charged in their murders after the bodies were found Sunday in their Brentwood home. Mario is live there in Brentwood with the very latest. Mario.
That's right, and he remains behind bars with no bail. He's officially been named a suspect and charged in the murder. Now, we're just outside the home here where Rob and Michelle's bodies were found inside over the weekend, and you can see a growing memorial here. People have been stopping by here in the neighborhood who knew the Reiners, very distraught about the news. And just 3 days later, their son appeared before a judge. Take a look at these courtroom sketches. The only images allowed showing the 32-year-old behind glass. Reiner appeared calm, wearing a blue suicide prevention smock and handcuffs. Prosecutors on Tuesday officially charging Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder, special circumstance of multiple murders, accused of stabbing his parents to death inside their Brentwood home early Sunday. And if convicted, he faces life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Meanwhile, the medical examiner confirming both Rob and Michele died from multiple sharp force injuries, meaning stab or cut wounds consistent with a knife. Reiner did not enter a plea while he was in court yesterday. Instead, his attorney asked for more time. Take a listen.
This is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with.
And this surveillance video, courtesy of the New York Post, showing the dramatic moments Nick was taken down about 15 miles from the Brentwood home. It shows the 32-year-old as LAPD moves in near the metro station at Expo in Vermont, close to USC's campus. He immediately puts up his hands and surrenders without incident. Now, this case is just beginning. The January 7th arraignment is now scheduled in about 3 weeks, so we'll, of course, be following this. For now, that's the latest here in Brentwood. I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. All week, we've seen tributes pouring in for Rob and Michele. This is a new one this morning from Meg Ryan. She, of course, starred in When Harry Met Sally. Rob Reiner was directing when he met his future wife on that set. She wrote on Instagram, "Thank you, Rob and Michele, for the way you believe in true love, in fairy tales, and in laughter. Thank you for your faith in the best in people and for your profound love of our country. I have to believe that their story will not end with this impossible tragedy."
And we continue our coverage with Gigi Gracia. She has more on what we know about Nick's movements before and after the death of his parents. Gigi?
That's right, Sandra and Bob. We start off with exclusive new information on how police seemingly found Reiner standing on a street corner Sunday night to arrest him. Well, it turns out a specialized team had been following him for hours. And even though Nick Reiner is behind bars today facing murder charges, LAPD homicide detectives are still very busy working this case, spending the last days piecing together Nick Reiner's every move from the moment the Reiner family arrived home from that holiday party Saturday night to Sunday when he was arrested. Now, using every available resource, LAPD detectives quickly found that Reiner had rented a hotel room at the pier side in Santa Monica. And it is there that they reportedly found evidence they say shows he was involved in the murder of his parents, with multiple sources reporting there was blood in the hotel room. The room's exterior door seen here courtesy of TMZ. Now, a DNA analysis was immediately ordered to determine who the blood belonged to. By the time police arrived there, though, Reiner was gone, but they were already on his trail. That special team just waiting for homicide detectives to gather enough evidence to give them the green light to arrest him. Good Day LA has confirmed that Reiner, seen there with that red backpack in the hour before his arrest, was at the Arco AM/PM across the street from where he was taken into custody. Their cameras capturing him walking in and out, back in, and eventually buying a Gatorade. He would then cross the street where cameras caught him pacing back and forth as undercover officers and agents watched and waited, eventually moving in to arrest him just after 9 p.m. Sandra, Bob?
All right, Gigi, thank you. We want to know, though, has the medical examiner determined when they were killed? I know that's a very important clue in all of this, the timeline.
It sure is, because we know they were at that party, then they went home. Now, we reached out to the medical examiner's office, who did confirm to us, and there you see the public information listing for Rob Reiner's death, that the date of death for both Rob and his wife Michele is listed as Sunday. The exact time, though, has not been released. Another important piece of the story came from the LAPD, who confirmed publicly that both Rob and Michele Reiner were found in their master bedroom. Detectives Prosecutors, though, have not publicly said if they believe the couple were sleeping when they were attacked.
Yeah, much more to come out of all this. Thank you so much, Gigi, for all those details.
A pretrial hearing just wrapped up in New York City for the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Defense lawyers for Luigi Mangione spent the last 3 weeks trying to convince a judge to throw out certain evidence in the case, including a gun and a notebook that prosecutors claim link him to the murder. His lawyers contend anything found in his backpack should be excluded from trial because police didn't have a search warrant and lacked the grounds to justify a warrantless search. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to state and federal charges. The judge says he'll rule on that evidence in May.
The manhunt continues in Rhode Island for the gunman who killed 2 Brown University students and injured 9 others last weekend. Investigators are asking the public for more video of their person of interest and for help identifying a second person who crossed paths with him. The FBI is offering $50,000 for information leading to an arrest.
Now the latest in the tragedy at Bondi Beach. Authorities in Australia have released photos of several victims from the mass shooting that happened last Sunday during a Hanukkah celebration. One of the alleged gunmen was pronounced dead at the scene. The other has been charged with 59 crimes, including 15 murder charges. The photos were accompanied by statements from the victims' families saying that they are devastated and heartbroken.
And the funeral for the youngest victim was held today. 10-year-old Matilda, her last name is not being made public at the request of her family, was enjoying a petting zoo when she was shot and killed. During the service, a rabbi read a tribute from Matilda's teachers, and mourners say it's important to keep her spirit alive.
Just her smile, and as her Auntie Lena was saying everywhere, spread the smile, spread the light, and spread her happiness throughout all the people. That's the support that we can show.
Well, I'm not that sure that I'm capable in expressing how I feel. I have a 10 years old granddaughter, and when I see Matilda, I see my own Ori granddaughter. I'm speechless.
A funeral was also held for the oldest victim, 87-year-old Alex Kleitman. He was a Holocaust survivor. His wife told reporters that he was killed while protecting her.
All right, let's talk about the weather, and let's get to Maria. And, we still have some fog out there?
We do. It's really thinning out, though. That's the good news. But we do have a mix of some high clouds and some fog. It's dissipating as we speak. That's the good news. And we don't have any fog advisories. So that's good as well. The wind advisories were allowed to expire earlier this morning. Area of high pressure still in control. We still have that clockwise flow of air around that ridge of high pressure. So we still have an offshore flow, just not as gusty as last night. That high is going to continue to weaken. So that storm track is going to start sagging south today and tomorrow. The weekend looking like a wet one for Northern California this time now, and into Central California and the Sierra Nevada should get some snow. So Mammoth fans of skiing and snowboarding by this time going to be happy about that. As that high continues to weaken, another area of low pressure is going to move into Southern California this time, and it looks as if we are going to have a wet Christmas Eve and Christmas Day now, according to our computer models. So plan for that, please. If you had plans to have an outdoor early dinner for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you might want to have a plan B, just in case it does rain where you will be. 70 degrees currently in downtown LA, 68 in Pasadena, 54 in Big Bear. Highs today will be nice, pleasant and warm. 83 in the low desert to that 68 in Big Bear later this afternoon. Downtown LA should be near 80 or 82, 87 for the valleys and the Inland Empire. Take advantage of the dry, sunny conditions today into the upcoming weekend, although a little bit cooler, but it will stay dry. I'll tell you more about the wet weather we're expecting, show you one of those computer models as we approach next week. Coming up in just a few moments. Back to you.
Right, as we head into crunch time for the holiday shopping, how do you feel about gift cards instead of cash? Gift cards and cash instead of more personal presents. We dive into that debate.
All right, plus a very sweet story from the Arctic about a mama polar bear who adopted a cub. Oh, but first, Maria with a check on traffic.
And we do have a little bit of traffic. Here, Good Day LA Traffic is sponsored by Lawyers for Justice. As we take a look at the map, Yeah, just some patchy clouds now and some patchy fog. Not anywhere near what we saw yesterday. In fact, this camera is looking really good. I think this is on the 215. I can't really see the text here at the top of the screen. So if you help me out. Oh, this is the 60 freeway. All right, it looks good here. That's the good news. And as we take a look at our drive times in and out of downtown LA, westbound 10 between the 5 to the 405, 35 minutes. It has really improved there, as well as the northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, just 20 minutes. And then this part of the west 60 between the 57 to the 5, 27 minutes. Here's some of the other traffic hotspots.
When you've been injured, everything changes. At Lawyers for Justice, we have the resources to fight for our clients.
Call 818-JUSTICE today. Call 818-JUSTICE.